Welcome back to For You, the official TikTok podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Broski. Today I'll be speaking with Hank Green. Yes, I'm wearing hair curlers. Don't say anything about it. Hank Green, what an absolute honor and a privilege to speak to you today. I'm sure you get this a lot, but you played such a big part in raising not only me, but the children of the internet. Children of Gen Z. So first off, thank you. And second off, for those who don't know, who are you? Where are you from? Tell us the story. What do you do?
I'm Hank Green. I live in Missoula, Montana. I have a number of different jobs. I'm a science communicator. I think is sort of like the first thing that I think about when I think about myself. So I host a show called SciShow with some friends. I also have hosted crash courses about science. But I also run the company that does those things. It's called Complexly. Has a number of YouTube shows and also other things, shows, podcasts, TikTok stuff. And I'm also an author. So I wrote a couple science fiction novels, and started. I have also started some other businesses. I have a merchandising and product development company that works with creators called dftba.com. And once upon a time, I started VidCon, which I no longer work on super directly, though I'm still very close friends with all of the team there.
So just a short list.
I get confused sometimes. There's this, Brittany, I don't know when this is going to come out, but this will probably not be news anymore when it comes out. But I just was reading Deadline, which is a entertainment news website, and it said that I was going to be on the reboot of Criminal Minds, which
Did you know that?
News to me. So somebody slipped something in somewhere and snuck in some false information. But there have been times in my life where people have said that I did something and I was like, I didn't do that, but then it turned out that I actually did.
Isn't that kind of scary?
It's part of being
people remember.
Old. Yeah.
Not. I don't think it's that. I think it's people remember. They're such big fans. They remember everything that you've ever done and said, which is scary.
Please don't.
Okay, well, yeah. I want to kind of take it back. You've previously described, as you just said, yourself as a science communicator. What's the difference between that and a scientist? Why do you choose that word?
Well, I haven't been a scientist for over 20 years because I haven't been in a lab doing science for that. Maybe not that quite that long, but for nearly that long. Like a scientist would be a person who is trying to figure out facts about the universe that no one has known yet. Trying to figure out things about ourselves or about our world. And I'm not up to that activity. I once was. It was great. Super fun. But I have always, so when I was in undergrad, the thing that I liked doing most was helping other people in my classes do better in their classes. And that was so exciting and empowering for me to like take somebody who was like on their second round trying to get through biochemistry and taking them from just banging their head against a wall to being really actually kind of excited about it. And that was like the best feeling ever. And I've also always like been a consumer of science media. So Scientific American Magazine or Carl Sagan books and TV shows. And so it was kind of amazing when I realized that was actually a job that somebody could have.
Sure.
And after I had been a YouTuber for 4 or 5 years, I was like, maybe that could be my job. So weirdly, I got in. A lot of folks get into YouTube because they want to be in entertainment. I got into YouTube because I thought it was really weird. And then I realized, so like some people might realize, hey, maybe I could start a TV show. And I was like, oh, I could like maybe be a science communicator.
So it's always come from a place of education. You've loved taking a part in education to a certain extent.
Yeah, I love like the joy of knowing about the world. There's kind of 2 reasons I feel like to sort of, well, 3 reasons to learn things. One is because you're in school and you kind of have to. And there's also hopefully a part of that is like it's going to help you, get a good job or et cetera. There's a second reason that isn't talked about that often, which a lot of people, including myself as a younger person, was just really into like knowing more than other people. And so it was kind of a thing. Yeah. Kind of a, I wasn't going to be athletic. I wasn't going to be, dating the coolest people or hanging out with the coolest people, but I could know more than everybody else.
What's your shtick?
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a third one, which is like, I think the best one. And can contribute to the other two if you want it to, which is just that it's joyful. Like, it's really interesting. It's like,
Sure.
it's curiosity, and it's exciting, and it's, it's one of the coolest things that humans have been able to do is to be a little bit of the universe that understands itself. And that's very strange. So that's the one that continues to drive me, and then I want to sort of like do what I can to open that door to other people.
Well, I don't want to draw on your past too much, because I know you're probably sick of talking about it. But launching things like SciShow and Crash Course and all that. I mean, do you look back and think, wow, we did that sort of thing? Like, these are still being used in American schools and all over the world. Yeah. Is that weird for you that you played such a giant role in like the education of an entire generation?
Well, and it's still happening is the thing. It's it's easy to sort of think like, oh wow, Hank Green, he taught these people when I was in school. And it's like, I mean, also though, still like our content is being used more than ever, Crash Course especially. And it's super weird. It's especially weird because it's like, well, why didn't somebody else do this?
Right.
Like if you can make the lives of teachers and students easier for like an amount of money that isn't substantial in the $1 trillion education industry, why didn't somebody else do it? Why were you fucking around? Get your ass in the game. Like there's
a job to do it.
Huge educational media companies that just didn't do it. And I'm just like, I guess you have to look at it from a different perspective. Like, and we did it, it didn't cost no money, but we never made anybody pay for it. We don't make people pay for Crash Course. And like that it kind of pisses me off, honestly.
Yeah.
I just think that we are not doing education right in this country. And
can we talk about this for a hot second? Can we do hot takes with Hank Green?
Well, what I will say is that when you say that sentence, everyone agrees with it, but nobody agrees on what it means, or how to fix it.
Well, because there's so many different levels of what's wrong with the American education system, why it's broken. If it's not like but I just kind of wanted to, I mean, not to get too political, but it is like, I took AP World History, AP European History, AP Art History. I would not have passed those courses without the internet.
Yeah.
Like, there is no, I think, valid way to success in school today without access online. All the textbooks that I studied were outdated. They were incorrect. Even you've got teachers up front saying, but ignore this part in the book. It's not. Yeah. What do you mean ignore this part in the book? Like, come on. So, and I know y'all recognize that problem, and it's on behalf of a generation. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it is wild. The impact is wild, and it's easy to like sort of minimize it, but then it is not uncommon for me to have someone walk up to me and be like, "You are the reason I have my job," and that's
insane.
Fucking perfect. Like, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. Well, carrying that spirit of education over to TikTok. Mm-hmm. When you started, I kind of want to hear the TikTok story, because you've been on it for about as long as I have, late 2019.
On it. Yeah. Oh.
Well, you got to be a lurker first, and then you become a poster.
Well,
what's your TikTok story?
Pandemic occurs. I have extra time. I'm not traveling as much, and I keep hearing about TikTok. I'm in this industry. I've also got a book coming out.
Congrats.
I did. It's out now.
Congrats.
And so like, I'm like, thank you. I am like, so this is me, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever. And I'm like, well, I need to understand this. And there's also like a couple of my friends are doing like learning content on it. And I am convinced that that's not possible. That you can't teach somebody something in a minute. Because I'm a.
Do you still believe that?
No, because I'm a pretentious Gen Xer who doesn't understand media, and so I was like, well, I should like take some time and at least like let the algorithm know me, like let it get to know me a little bit and see what it serves up. And within 2 days, I'm getting stuff that's like, assistant professors at universities making jokes about academia. And it's just like, why is this here? Who
It
is
knows
like
you,
this is not what I
senses you.
expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got a TikTok the other day from a man who was born in the same year as me, who the TikTok was me in 2006, like complaining about that all the bands at Warped Tour are all emo now. And then me in 2021 dancing to the Fortnite the Fortnite song, you know what I mean? And him being like, it's so much better now to like not care about this stuff. And I was like, too specific. How did you know that I'm a 40-year-old ex-punk rocker who like you're not supposed to know that about me?
Well, you were talking about it's very rare, and I didn't take this in an egotistical way, but it's very rare that you find something where you're like, oh, I didn't know that. I've got a game for you, Hank Green.
Oh, shit.
Are you ready? So here's what's going to happen. I have some random useless knowledge. Going to ask you a series of questions, and you have to give me true or false. And if you want to explain, you can, but you only have a minute to answer as many as you can.
Okay.
Are you ready?
This is very scary.
Here we go. Rubber bands last longer when refrigerated. True or false?
Probably true.
Very true. No number from 1 to 999 includes the letter A in its word form. True or false?
I'm going to say true because otherwise that would be a dumb fact.
True. Edgar Allan Poe married his 13-year-old cousin. True or false?
That is true.
That is true. Jupiter is twice as large as all the other planets combined.
That could be true.
Final answer?
Yeah, true.
True. Pepper used to be a currency.
Probably. Well, salt definitely was. I'm going to say false.
Hank Green, WTF, you know what I mean? There are only 3 words in the English language which end in deuce. True or false?
True.
D-O-U-S.
D-O-U-S.
False. There's 4.
Oh,
tremendous, horrendous, stupendous, and hazardous.
Wow. I would have thought there were more than that, honestly.
The chicken and the ostrich are the closest living relatives of the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
True.
That was good.
I didn't know that one for sure. That was a guess.
You're 5 out of 6? Can I count? That was 6. That was good. That was very impressive. All right, here's next. And this isn't fact-based. This is truly your opinions. All right, here we go. This is either or. You get to pick. Space or oceans?
Oceans.
Oceans are terrifying. So is space, to be fair.
I mean, both are going to kill you, but what's more interesting?
I think there's aliens in the ocean. But that's a different conversation.
I mean, octopuses.
Basically, how about the Marianas Trench? Yeah, I'll start to sob my eyes out because I'm terrified. Crash Course or SciShow?
Oh, not allowed. I have employees. I can't do that.
How about this? Videos or podcasts?
Oh, videos.
Really? You're no stranger to podcasts either.
That's for sure.
Do you? I think there's a sort of innocence and returning to just 2 people talking to each other.
I agree,
and people really enjoying it versus the production of a video.
I love a podcast. Yeah.
Unicorns or dodo birds?
Oh, dodo birds.
Dodo birds gone too soon.
So weird.
R.I.P. We miss you every day. Gryffindor or Slytherin?
I mean, Slytherin. Sorry.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Looking for Alaska or Fault in Our Stars?
Oh, I'll say The Fault in Our Stars.
I would too. All right. Next. This is stuff you can't possibly know, but you probably will know some of them. So I'm going to ask some questions, and then if you think you know the answer, just give it to me, and I can give you the answer.
Okay.
What is a home remedy to get out stains?
What is a home remedy to get out stains? Man, I saw a kid the other day just dump a bunch of Dawn detergent on his cream cheese on TikTok. So is that it?
I saw that too. No, and it didn't work.
No. Mom, don't wake up, Mom. Don't wake up.
The comments were like, you better hope and pray your mom is in the next room. She didn't hear that. It's seltzer and lemon juice.
Oh, sure. Okay.
That will remove. Did the original formula for Coca-Cola include actual cocaine?
Yes.
Yes, it did. Who invented the bra?
Madame Brazier.
Excellent guess, but absolutely not. 1889. Her Herminie Cadol of France invented the first modern bra.
Okay.
In which state is it actually legal to hunt unicorns?
I'm gonna go with the Wyoming.
No, Michigan.
Nice.
Hunt unicorn? Is that like a real thing? You know, there's like Bigfoot laws. Like if you see Bigfoot, you can't shoot him or something like that.
Don't mess with a Bigfoot.
Please don't injure Bigfoot.
Yeah.
There is an official ruling for how many Tootsie Pop licks it takes to get to the center. Do you know that number?
I mean, there's actually a number of different ones. So there's been a number of different studies over the years. There's been both mathematical analysis, like robot licks, and also human licks. I think that like the most recent study I read was human licks, and it averaged to about 175.
364. So I'm not sure where TikTok podcast team is getting their information.
That's a different study. There were a bunch of them. You can go read about it on the Tootsie Pop website, which I actually did recently, which is very strange.
Why do you know that? You know what I mean? What's going on? That's very interesting too. When you consider like the acidity of a human tongue.
Yeah,
if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, so this most recent study, which is the most comprehensive one, it looked into like the time of day when people licked, and it took way longer in the mornings than in the afternoons. And I was like almost double the amount of time for a morning 8 a.m. liquor versus like a 3 p.m. liquor.
Not a liquor.
What else do you call them?
Research participant. All right, here's the last one. This is a Gen Z slang test, which I'm sure you will pass with flying colors.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. First one. And this is just like ones that I thought you might know or might not know.
Uh-huh.
Cap.
Cap. I've heard cap. They say no cap, which means like I'm not lying. Is that
what
right?
Is cap?
A lie?
Yeah. Yeah, cap is like something. No, this isn't right. Like, what's going on? Like, you're lying. Tea.
Oh yeah, that's not Gen Z.
Tea? It's like spilling the tea?
Yeah. It's the gossip. It's the hot goss.
Exactly.
Gen Z can use it, but that I think tea is from like
we're not the creators.
Older than me. Some like
tea
originators.
Is definitely, yeah. A lot of the terms come from the gay community.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s and all that. Mm-hmm. Bread.
Just money?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's a W and an L? These are very straightforward.
A win and a loss?
Yeah. How about beat your mug?
That is a makeup thing.
How do you know that?
I watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. You watch
it's the only show that I watch like as it's coming out.
Have you met RuPaul?
No. Oh, no. I guess that wouldn't be that strange, but no, RuPaul has his own con. He doesn't need to go to mine.
Sure. RuPaul's got a panel at VidCon.
Yeah.
When you're gassing someone.
Like making them feel better?
Yes! What's a goat? GOAT.
The greatest of all time.
And what's a drip?
That's when you look good, maybe, or are good.
How did you know all of these?
Well, concerning. It's not like I don't spend time on TikTok.
It's true, but it's where is the intersection of professional academia and Gen Z TikTok? Seems that you found it.
Just right here, yeah.
All right, let's return to some serious questions I'd like to ask you.
God, that part, I am like literally, my blood pressure is elevated. I feel like I've had 2 cups of coffee. Yeah.
A little stressed out. I just helped some of my friends film a video recently, and we did Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Mm-hmm. And it's just shocking and embarrassing. It's just shocking. Like if you put some of the smartest people in the world on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, it's like the questions are so basic. It's like, is that right?
I don't actually.
Do I even know that? Okay.
Oh no.
All right. So in 2007, you and your brother John created the annual charity, The Project for Awesome.
True.
Creators take 2 days, usually December 17th and 18th, to create videos promoting charities. Is it of their choice or of y'all's choice?
Of their choice.
of their choice. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and like the real world impact that you've seen from this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's so back then there was no monetary element to it. It was so imagine, if you will, and actually this might actually even be possible on TikTok, but back in the day, YouTube had a bunch of like pages that it would surface, and they weren't algorithmic. They were just based on like how many, like this is the most commented page, the most viewed page, the most discussed page. Or most liked was one of them. And so we were like, what if we filled up every one of those pages with videos that had the exact same thumbnail and they were all promoting different charities?
Love it.
And that was the idea of the first Project for Awesome. Now, by the time the second Project for Awesome rolled around, you couldn't do that anymore. Those pages didn't exist. But we had created a thing, and so we have adapted it over the years to do a bunch of different stuff. But it would be really interesting to me if like TikTokers actually got together on a day and were like, we're only going to upload videos about charities, and if you see a video about a charity, you have to like it and you have to comment, and then like all of TikTok for that day becomes a charity day. So that's a free one. You can have that.
Yeah, thank you. We'll call Mr. TikTok right after this recording's done. There are grassroots initiatives like that happen on TikTok, you know, of
totally.
Like Indigenous Day, where you know, white creators, I've participated in it. You don't post, you don't do anything. Like that day is for Indigenous creators. The same with Black creators, the same with, you know, Hispanic, all of that. So I think that comes, and it's such a beautiful thing too, because it's spread in the comment section. What makes TikTok so special is the comment section.
That's very true.
So to, you know, create those, and then also when you visit someone's profile, you know, it can be like benefiting X charity. Is that ever something you would want to participate in or help out with? Or
yeah, I don't have one of those on mine right now, but it is literally because I don't know how to.
We'll get on it again. I'll call
I'm sure
Mr.
I can
TikTok.
figure it out. It's two guys, right? Mr. Tick and Mr. Talk. Is that how it is? Okay, good.
Yes. They're brothers.
Cute, adorable. And their last name is Talk, so it's TikTok and Talk.
Yes.
Like Mario.
Exactly. Joe Jonas. In that same vein, just like of, you know, family, creating all these projects together, you've been working with your brother for so long.
Yeah.
Your family is involved in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Does that put odd stressors on you and on the members of your family? Has it strained relationships? What is the tea?
Well, as far as like John and I go, it's been good for our relationship. It not in that like it's alleviated stress or we've become like less combative with each other. It's just that like we hang out, like we talk at all. Before this, you know, I think with adult siblings, it's pretty easy to just sort of like see each other once or twice a year, and that's kind of it. But because we get to work together, we, you know, we're on the phone several times a week, and it's great.
Okay, so just taking it back to like, you know, kind of the beginning. You said you were doing YouTube for 4 to 5 years before you started doing Crash Course, any form of educational, anything like that.
Yeah.
How has the landscape of the internet changed from that time to where we're at now? You've seen it all.
It is unfamiliar. It is not. When I go back and watch like YouTube videos from 2008 or even 2014,
it feels like a lifetime ago.
So different to what it is now. Mm-hmm. And you know, like early on, there wasn't anything that wasn't personality based. Is an interesting thing. Like it was very weird to have an idea that you'd have a show that was about something besides you. And now almost all of YouTube is shows that are about something like, and you're lucky if you can get your personality in. Now there are people who certainly do it. There's people who are able to launch personality based shows right now. And I first remember like noticing it with Epic Mealtime. Do you remember that show?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Where it was like, oh, this is a show. Like, it's about this guy, and like I like definitely his personality, Harley's personality is like out and about in this content, but it's about something else. And and then that transition happened pretty rapidly after that, where it was just so hard because everybody has a personality. And so like, how do you have a personality that stands out from the pack? But you can have a show. And it was
also the age of lifestyle entertainers, online entertainers, to what you're getting at of like there's a premise to what they're doing. Anyone could do it. It's just, you come to love that character that's doing it, sort of thing.
Yeah, but that's much easier in the beginning where there aren't that many people doing it. Because why would you do it? That was in 2007 when I started on YouTube, it was like, why would you do that?
Why did you do it?
Because I find it easy to get obsessed with things.
Naturally, very understandable. Well, I mean, kind of translating that to now where, we're going from a time where creators are few and far in between, and the few very popular creators are very famous, at least in the online sphere, to now I feel like an app like TikTok has democratized the creative landscape. So anyone can be viral, but not only that, but anyone can be a popular creator, because there's finding this talent is so it's so, your For You page is not only for you, but it's also what everyone else is liking too. Right. Do you think there's a beauty in that? Do you have any thoughts of how that's different?
Well, it's interesting with the new platforms. There's usually a similar trajectory, and it depends. And I don't know if this is going to happen with TikTok. It kind of already has to some extent. That you start out personality based because that is.
It's fun to watch.
It's fun and also there's space for it. And then over time, it's just like it gets very crowded with that kind of thing, and so you have to have other things that are differentiating your content. And so but I will say to any TikTokers who are listening out there, it's really valuable to have an audience that cares about you as a person, not just about your show.
Do you have any just general advice just from seeing so many comings and goings of phases of creating? Do you have any long-lasting advice for just the kids, for anyone listening, for up-and-coming creators?
For creators, because I care a lot about this because it's such a good job, but it's also, it's a job that more people have now. So it's more accessible, but it's still very, very unusual for it to become a long-term thing. But what I will say is any amount of having success here is super valuable in other spheres of work. It's going to help you understand how the internet works in a much deeper way, how human psychology works in a deeper way. There are all kinds of jobs in this space that aren't creator. So if 100%. you find that you're burnt out or it's not hitting the way that it used to, it's not bringing the joy that it used to, that doesn't mean that time that you spent doing it wasn't valuable. And it doesn't mean that you should stop. I think of internet creator very much like musician. And so the vast majority of musicians just like to play guitar. They're not, and maybe they make a few $100s a month from it, playing at the bar, and they have a band, and it's and they have a community around it. Lady Gaga exists, Post Malone, as exists.
Hi, Post Malone.
There are people who get super famous and get to do that for a living. And the vast majority of people who do it for a living are making $30,000, $40,000 a year as studio musicians or, just smaller people who have followings on Patreon and sell merch and stuff and do shows to 200 people. And so this is the way to imagine it. It's not like movie star. It's not even like actor because it's a much more personal thing, which music is like that, where you listen to music for a personal connection.
Very valid comparison.
And so but also most musicians just like making music. And so if you aren't feeling that joy in it, there's tons of stuff that you can apply what you've learned inside of this space to. And I when I'm hiring, I look at that. I look at, whether people have had a kind of success on their own, because it does show initiative and creativity and, and also how you handle it. So it can be a lot of positive things in your life in a lot of different ways. But if chasing after that imagined thing, following in the footsteps of your idols or whatever, isn't bringing joy, then that's okay. And you can find other fun ways to be in the world
outside of the limelight.
Yeah.
Well, Hank Green, thank you so much for your time. This was an absolute pleasure and joy. And to speak with the man himself.
It was super fun. It was super fun. And keep doing what you're doing. I love it. And
thank you. Well, where can we find you?
And I love that Brittany Broski's up here being like someday, like, I'm not that funny. Brittany Broski thinks that she's not that funny. So like we are all in our own heads about shit.
Man, the internet, I'll lay in bed thinking, who am I? Why am I here? Every single night is a different spiral. But it's all fun and games.
I hear that. Well,
where can we find you? Where are your ats? What are your channels? Give us all the links.
I'm Hank Green 1 on TikTok because I apparently arrived too late.
There's a different Hank Green.
There's another Hank Green who got my screen name.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Well, thank you again. Means so much.
Yeah. Thank you.